just a little red dot swimming in a sea of stars. Got the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings and welcome, folks. Welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. I just need to fix an audio thing real quick. There it is. Okay, it's fixed. Just as a reminder, this channel is still running a campaign for the Bale Project that's associated with our Sprawl campaign. If you want to check that out, we are Team Phyllis over on Tiltify for it. We are right now still got a goal of $500 for that. And again, that is for the Bale Project, which brings bail assistance to protesters, which is incredibly important right now. In the meantime, what's happening? I am playing Cole Hayden, Human Gunslinger. And let us go around and find out who everyone else is and who they're playing. And we will start with Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. I use he, him pronouns. And tonight I play Rekmara, the Aviara Druid, who also uses he, him pronouns.
Awesome, awesome. Now let us head over to Cazimi. Hello.
Gotta make sure I'm not muted. Hi, I'm Cazimi. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Clangswell Nuna Fritz Holds Bottom Thunderstruck, who uses they, them pronouns.
Excellent, excellent. And now let us head over to May. Hello.
Hi everybody, my name is May. I play Lasness Chain Tower, the Star Dwarf Paladin. We both use she, her pronouns. Glad to be here.
Yay. Yay. And let us head over to Mem. Hello.
Hello, I'm Mem, she, her pronouns, and today I will be Narita Galeen, the Nautilid Witch, who also uses she, her pronouns. Also happy to be here.
Yay. Excellent, excellent. And now finally we shall hand things over to our illustrious station master, Alyssa. Hello.
Hi. I am glad to be back after a little break last week. My name is Alyssa, and I play everybody else. So, as with all games on this channel, we'll be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if at any point we're crossing into territory that is not okay and crosses the line for anybody, and they can just type an X into the Zoom chat, make an X symbol. We will stop, rewind, add a dash of retcon, and it never happened. If we're kind of towing the line and it's okay to have the subject in the game, but we don't want a graphic description, that's where the N comes into play. We'll pan to the fake fireplace, fade to black, and move on. And if at any point things are getting dramatic and you just want to let everybody know you're okay, that's what the O is for. And if you are getting into a tense role play and you want to check and make sure that whatever you just said or did wasn't a little too much, you can type an O with a question mark, and then we can all respond as needed. And now that we got that out of our systems, previously on Ghosts of Saltmaw. Having accidentally placed a tracking beacon on Narita's Wizmo familiar instead of on Rekmara, as they intended, Fritz discovered that not only was Ted sneaking out of the ship when no one was watching, but had accumulated 750 credits worth of parts to build an arcane terminal. Seeing that the little robot was attempting to communicate, Fritz immediately began working on a binary translator, while Narita tried her best to just keep Ted out of trouble. As Ted led his mistress on a merry chase across the ship, bleeping a blue streak, they were overheard by Rekmara, who had recently attuned to the obelisk shard and found that he could now understand the language of machines. Ted explained that he was building an antivirus module for the ship because it was better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, and when Rekmara reprimanded the tiny construct for acting without the rest of the crew's knowledge, Ted retorted that Rekmara was not his real dad. It was about that time that Cole returned from his night out bringing word of a potential mission, and while the crew was discussing the pros and cons of clearing an abandoned research base, pros, paycheck, cons, hordes of undead, Lastus informed the group that she had managed to crank up the performance of the Space Ghost shield generator, giving them a +1 to their shield points, so that they were ready for whatever the void could throw at them. Not everyone seemed convinced of this, but in the end they decided to take the cleanup job anyway. After a quick jump to Guillermo Station, where the party stopped to consult with Major Ursa and pick up some tasty treats imported from the Gnomish flotilla, they cruised the rest of the way to Asteroid Abbey. Once they put down on the asteroid, Rekmara and Lasnis disembarked to do some recon. Outside the Abbey's ruined docking bay, they found a construct picking through the rubble. The sorting beast seemed loath to interrupt his work for something as tedious as communication, but informed them that it could not complete its work because the bones would not stay still. After speaking with the sorting beast, they went down a stairs that remained intact and found a sealed airlock to a bunker beneath the Abbey, and that's where we pick up today. So, well, Rekmara and Lasnis are doing their recon. What's going on the ship?
If you ask me, it's pure chaos in there. I have no idea.
I am trying to remember. There was something that I was trying to do, and I cannot now remember what it was, and I've been desperately trying to remember.
I thought Narita was with them, was she not?
She was with them, yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was
She had her suit.
Rekmara, Narita, and Lasnis. And the Thwirl, in theory.
And I think, yeah, it's basically Fritz and myself and the cleric we have hired, who is...
Damascus,
Right.
1,000 swords.
Is that his full name?
Yes.
Does he have a familiar name he'd prefer to go by?
Damascus.
Great.
Interesting.
I think Fritz was trying to do some kind of external scanning while the recon mission was going on, just to see if there were other escape points, landing pads, things like that, just to understand the outside better since they were going inside, or checking what the entrance to the inside looked like.
Yes. All right. So your scans of the ship. Let me flip over to ships and ship systems.
I mean, it might be just me looking out a window, but
Right.
it's whatever I can do from where I am.
You do have scanners that will kind of give you a lay of the land. You probably could do kind of a rudimentary life sign scan, but that wouldn't necessarily pick up the undead.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more along the lines of like spaces and hallways and walls. So whatever I can scan that I could download to the
Yeah.
data pads that would give me like
You
a
kind
3D
of
walkthrough.
have your scans will kind of give you a basic layout of what's left of the surface area.
The surface.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
It
looking
won't
for.
necessarily penetrate through the rock of the asteroid itself to whatever may be underneath.
Understood.
But you can avoid stepping in any craters. So.
Once I have that information in a visualized format, I'll go ahead and just push that out to everybody's data pad so that they have that map available to them.
Sounds good.
Everybody else's pads beep. You have mail.
Mine is carried onto my visor screen by a cute little panda.
Because of course it is.
Have we told people about the airlock? Are we down there?
No, because you got to the airlock and that's where we had to cut.
Okay. So I guess we should explore a little bit, make sure it's stable and safe.
All right. How do you wish to proceed?
Cautiously. Lasness.
What? I'm sorry. How, can you say that word again? My translator glitched.
Cautiously.
Okay, all right, yeah. And Lasness steps forward, like exaggerated slowness, and then gets to the door and opens it just a crack to kind of like peek in. But before all that, she listens to the door before opening it.
Okay. It is an airlock door, so you probably can't hear much through it, and it is locked from the inside.
Okay, so I can't open it through hand means, so should I use my hammer means?
Is this a complicated lock?
I think Lasness is missing the concept of airlock here.
How is it that a pilot, or alleged pilot, does not know anything about vacuums?
I've already got my suit on, so I'm ready to go.
Yes, but we don't want a vacuum to fill this underground area.
So you want me... Well, okay, so how do we get the decompression to happen?
We unlock it the way it was meant to be unlocked?
Fine. And that's what she's going to do.
Okay. That would be a tech roll.
No problem. I need a quick second. About to do one of the worst things in the world. I'm gonna move my cat so I can roll. Somebody was taking a nap in the dice tray. Okay. Let's try this again. Well, this is really going to build her reputation with Rekmara. I failed.
Access denied. Thread.
I still think my hammer would have been better. She grumbles, steps aside. What would you like me to do now?
Rakmara's gonna call into the comms. Hey, Fritz, we're going to need your help to open this airlock.
Muted.
There we go. Do you need me there, or do you just need some hints?
No, we're probably going to need you to come in here and actually open it.
I tried turning it off and on again.
That was a very good first step, Lasness. I'll be right there, Rekmara. Fritz will finish bundling back into the suit. Probably took off head and hands in the ship, but we'll get resuited back up again. And I'll bring Sparky along just to make sure. Cole, I'm going to go see if I can get them through this airlock. If it looks like we're just going to continue from there, if there aren't any other scans, I'll let you know. But otherwise, we'll do a quick recon and be back in a few.
All right.
All right.
Just holler if you need help.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be the first to holler.
All right.
And Fritz goes bounding off across the asteroid.
All right.
All right. Roll up to the door. So what you got here, guys? Airlock, huh?
It's really living up to its second half of its name.
Mostly the lock part, I get it. What were you rolling to get in?
Tech.
Tech. Just looking to see if there was anything else exciting I could throw in there, but I'll just do straight tech for now. 15, 4, 19.
Fritz, you were able to hack this airlock panel with no trouble. It turns green, decompresses, and opens with no problem.
All right.
You can go inside, close it up again, repressurize.
Do you need my help repressurizing and going through? I probably should just go with you guys to see what the rest of the entrance looks like, and then we'll see if we want to bring Cole back.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's go through the pressurization cycle.
All right. You step into the airlock, repressurize, and open the internal door, which won't give you any issue.
So like, our suits probably like test the air around us anyway, like let us know in general if it's like safe to breathe and whatever.
Yep.
Like when we go into this airlock, what do our suits tell us about the local environment?
There is normal gravity. There is breathable atmosphere.
Okay.
Well, they would read that anyways because Rekmara's got a zone of atmosphere.
Oh, right.
Cast on his thing. So.
If you step 30 feet away from Rekmara to test the actual room, there is also breathable atmosphere in the room. As far as the room itself, it has been set up as kind of a makeshift lounge area. The air is stale but breathable if you take off your helmets. There's some scorching along the panels, as if something has gone down recently. There is it's like a big recycled panel, like from a wall that has been set up on some upended shipping crates to make a table, and around the table are several smaller boxes that could be chairs, and there's half-eaten rations and foil wrappers strewn across the table and the floor, along with a deck of playing cards and a handful of credit chips. There are also 3 humanoid bodies, 1 in hegemony uniform and 2 in simple red scrubs, lying unmoving among the mess.
This
That
is
goes back to the ship. Cole, we found our first 3 bodies, but these ones look really dead.
All right. Well, I mean, it's
Looks like-
probably, I'd hesitate to say that's a good sign, but, better than it could have been, I suppose.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're just going to move in from here. It looks like there's gravity and atmosphere, so
Okay.
if you want to go ahead and join us, I'll cycle the lock for you.
All right. And I just sort of turned to Damascus. Looks like we're up. And just get up and head out.
All right.
Tiptoe across the zombie fields to
Suit
the...
up and concentrate for a moment as you step out. Sort of look back and forth, and then seem to find a path through the craters and the theoretical undead.
Theoretical undead are the worst kind.
Walk this way.
If I could walk that way, I wouldn't be thinking about this. Freaking...
And Damascus will lead you to the airlock.
Freaking Schrodinger's ghouls.
And the rest of your party can let you in. And you see, as you move into the room, there's, the remains of a makeshift gambling table and 3 dead humans.
What does it look like they died of?
It, given your experience with war and death and such things of that nature, you can probably guess that they died of wounds from a laser sword.
Yeah.
That seems to be the most obvious.
Yeah, someone went all slice and dice on them. And I just sort of glance over at the playing cards on the table and like, oh, just as well. None of these hands were worth crap.
As Cole's doing that, I'd like to tap into the interworld wide web
Okay.
and just see if there were any reports about something happening on this asteroid in the last 3 months.
There's the reports from the Lexay garrison who were summoned by the Spacers Guild to chase away some pirates. But other than that, nothing has happened recently. All the other records about this place are really outdated.
There's nothing out there about this place. This happened and nobody knew? Somebody had to know.
Plus, they're all
Oh.
dead.
Probably the person that did it. Or being. I'm not sure what the right term is for.
Well, whoever it was, they were able to hold a laser sword.
Should I dial 01189988199911197253?
No, we don't need any emergency services.
Dang, all right, okay.
We are emergency services.
Pretty much. Unless you feel like you need to call the garrison.
Not yet.
Do any of the bodies have anything of significance on them? Narita will search them during this time.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d12 to see what you find on the bodies.
Four.
One of them is carrying a flask. Give it a shake. There might be some alcohol in there. It's definitely not water.
Well, I don't want it.
How much space dust is on the tables? Will that give us a clue on how long this has been?
There is not much dust on the table at all.
How about the rations? You said they were half-eaten. How, like, rotty or not are they?
They're a little stale, but they're pretty recent as well.
All right.
So this happened, and this happened recently. And whatever happened, we're pretty much the only people that know it happened. Except for the whodunit, of course.
Mm-hmm. So what the Spacers Guild told you was they tried to land and they couldn't actually get to the Abbey because of the undead. But then the pirates also showed up.
And then they chased them away.
Beyond that, you don't have a whole lot of information.
So likely, whatever's left here is undead or pirates or undead pirates. And since they weren't outside, if there's anything left, they'll be inside. But we're supposed to clear this place out, so we'd better get clearing. I'm going to assume that clearing meant removing living beings, so that we're not actually on corpse patrol yet. Unless we get the thing hauler to get down here and move these guys out.
By living, do you mean the undead?
No. I meant the moving. Let's just go that way.
Okay.
Potentially hazardous materials.
Do I sense anything with my whole detect good and evil that I'm about to use?
Not in the immediate vicinity. There's a lot of nothing.
I'm not getting a feel for anything at the moment. What?
So what exits are there from this room besides the airlock?
There is pretty much just the one on the opposite end of the room.
Shall we continue forward?
That's
Okay. Lastness takes point.
Rakmara is going to tell his Thurl to scout out ahead about 30 feet.
the door locked?
It is not.
Okay.
It's just kind of opens up into a hallway with a few doors coming off of that.
Birds will tend toward the back of the party, generally speaking, unless there's a door issue, in which case they'll go up front.
All right. So there are 4 doors opening up off of the hallway outside of this lounge area. 2 to the left and 2 to the right. There does not appear to be anyone moving about any of the rooms that Zed pokes his head into. The 2 to the left appear to be the cafeteria and the dispensary, and the opposite side appear to be barracks and a laboratory.
We going room by room?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll start with the first door on the left.
All right. A large food replicator and prep counter lines one wall of this room, with a long table and benches standing at the center. The room is fairly clean. The table is piled with goods and supplies that were apparently abandoned when the pirates fled.
Are they in good condition?
Yes.
Waste not, want not?
Agreed.
Really want to stop for a snack before we take care of matters here?
I wasn't saying chow down, I was just saying put in our packs.
Come back for it on your way out.
Think about picking them up on the way out. Yeah.
Not if we're running from... Okay.
Is the
I'm not going to carry space Pop-Tarts all the way through this dungeon, okay?
Never need space Pop-Tarts.
okay?
Guys,
Shot in the
you're
dark
welcome
here.
to grab a handful if you want. Yes.
It's so cool.
Is the replicator working?
Yes.
Does it show what the last thing it replicated was, and when that was, by any chance?
It was fish and chips, and probably shortly before the time frame when the Spacers versus Pirates versus Lickshay Garrison went down.
Okay. All right.
That's a good way of checking the log.
Well, yeah, it's basically that's one way of telling us if there were any if there were any survivors in this part of the station, basically. So, yeah. Because it's been days, so they'd have to have eaten if they could make it out here.
Nothing else in this room, though, if
No,
we search?
Not particularly. There is a data pad on one of the shelves above the food prep area, and it looks like it holds basic recipes and instructions for how to use the replicator.
Pretty cool. We'll come and get it on the way back.
Do we not have one?
We don't have this one. That's out of character.
I'm sure Fritz will find a good use for it, but again, pick it up on the way back, not on the way in.
Don't want to be way down going to battle?
I'm not going to throw space Pop-Tarts replicated at will at somebody Isn't it something that's trying to get us? Okay.
I don't know if you can get to dispense them fast enough, maybe.
So unfortunately, now they're giving Fritz the idea that there might be a way to change the replicator so that it suddenly will create and dispense large wads of organic material at a high speed of fire.
Create food and water. It suddenly dispenses 40 pounds of rations.
That's more or less where we're going with this. Yes.
Yeah.
Can they be shaped like bullets? That's the question. Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey. Yeah. Now maybe it's not the time.
This is potential undead. I was thinking more along the lines of what's the cheese that you light on fire? Yeah. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It is news to me that there is flammable cheese. This is obviously out of character, but
spray cheese.
It's a Greek thing. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'll find it at break.
Yeah. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of like significant monetary value.
well, I think on to the next room.
All right. Next room on the left, or are you going across the hall?
It's the dispensary, right? I think
Next room on the left is dispense, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
This room is hardly bigger than a supply closet, to be honest. There's small crates and boxes shoved into one corner. Well, floor to ceiling shelving dominates the south wall. You can check the boxes if you like.
Yes.
Okay. On the bottom shelves, there's some dead roaches. Yes, that kind of roach. The violet kind. And a little higher up, there are some tins of dried herbs and various, perhaps medicinal tinctures.
Rekmara will actually collect those.
Okay. All right. And in one of the boxes in the corner, there is a coat. A very nice coat. It looks like somebody was trying to hide it there and maybe stash it away, keep it secret from other people.
It is highly likely that it is not gnome-sized, so Fritz is not particularly interested, except to make sure that it is not particularly dusty and or moldy.
It is not dusty or moldy. It seems to have been well protected.
Rekmara is going to pick that up too, and he's going to cast Detect Magic.
You detect magic. You detect abjuration magic.
Duration Magic.
Yeah, some type of protection.
Huh. Well, I think I will keep this. You'll pack that away too. Is there any other magic in the room?
All of the herbs and medicinal ingredients give off a slight magical aura.
That's it? Nothing else?
Yeah, that's it.
So as we leave this room, you said that there were 4 rooms in this hall. Are there any more on the left side?
No more on the left side. There are 2 more on the right.
All right, so we'll go to the first one on the right that was across from the first one on the left.
Okay. So this is the barracks. There are 3 bunks lining the wall and a bar with an electric kettle standing to one side. The northeast corner is piled with salvage scrap, and one hegemony trooper lies face up on the bed, eyes open, with an antimatter dagger in his chest.
Oh, Lasmus says as she opens the door. Didn't expect that. Hey guys, this one's kind of personal. Sorry, hey folks. I'm gonna get that right.
Rita looks at Cole. How long do you think he's been here? You have the most experience with this sort of thing.
I take a look.
Well, judging by the dead trooper's gaunt, somewhat desiccated features, he appears to have been dead for a lot longer than the lack of dust in the room would suggest.
Well, someone's definitely been through here since he's been dead. By a lot. He's been dead a long time.
Matter daggers and undead.
Antimatter daggers tend to deal necrotic damage, which wouldn't necessarily affect undead. But if he was stabbed with the antimatter dagger while he was alive, and then came back as an undead and was killed again later, that might explain why he looks the way he looks.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the difference between when he died and when he laid down on his bed and was stabbed in the chest, and it's coming up kind of weird.
Can an antimatter dagger do this to a zombie? Sorry.
I didn't think that was the order. I think we're still sorting that part of it out. I almost hate to say it, but I think the more beings we find down here, moving and not, the more of the story we'll figure out.
Yeah.
Is he actually dead?
As far as you can tell.
Is he completely vacated of any sort of energies that would animate him?
Lasmus, you were not picking up any sense of undead from him.
Thank you.
Reft of life, he rests in peace. If he hadn't been nailed with a perch, he'd be pushing up the daisies.
So he's not faking it. That's good to know.
Just waiting for one of us to touch him and it suddenly grabs you.
Yeah, jump scare, right?
Yeah, apparently this is an early 2000s video.
Yeah.
Nope.
Have we,
If it was gonna jump scare, he would have grabbed Cole.
yeah. Have we searched this room yet?
No, we have not searched this room.
Perhaps we should search this room.
We were concerned that searching the room might lead to being jumped by a zombie.
Oh,
We
yes.
can search the room now.
Okay.
Rita still stays close to the door.
Yes. Behind the pile of salvage junk is a stash of weapons, including 5 arc batons, a standard carbine blaster, a set of laser claws, 2 energy shield bracers, and a tactical carbonic hardsuit.
All hegemony?
No.
Mix of stuff. Might be pirates.
Unusual for pirates to leave things behind, so maybe they didn't mean to leave it behind.
Or maybe they haven't left.
True.
I presume just because of trying to be thorough, going to check the kettle and presume that it's been cold for. It's going to, yeah.
It's
all right.
cold.
I'd like to take the 2 spears, please.
Sure.
Is the kettle empty, or is there any liquid in it?
It's maybe about 2/3 empty.
It probably hasn't been too long since someone was here, even though the situation doesn't fully make sense.
And you're talking about what, evaporation?
Yeah, and then just the age of the corpse compared to the other corpses' bodies. Sorry.
Should I separate the head? Do you guys want me to separate the head? I could separate the head.
I don't know why you
I'm
guys are
gonna
just
step out of the
wasting
room.
time.
Would it help
Just
to separate
search
the
the
head?
place and move on.
Like to separate the head glasses?
I'm just wondering if separating the head would help.
It might.
No one is answering you.
Yuri just walks back out in the hall, like,
Saying
alright.
Fritz is like out of there.
I mean, it'll make you feel better.
Cleric
and I just said
Damascus
help.
asked if you would like him to set it on fire.
No.
It's fine. Just leave it alone. I don't know why you guys are so obsessed about this corpse. Just search the goddamn room.
So besides the scrap and the weapons cache, that's about it.
I already have that armor, so I didn't grab it, but if anybody else wants it, I figured, grab it if you wanted it.
I think anything of interest that's still here, Fritz will consider on the way back out, but not on the way in.
Okay.
Are any of the items you described considered light armor?
Not a carbonic hard suit.
No.
I didn't think so. I think that I heard the word bracers and I've forgotten how those work. But
I can tell you real quick. While wearing an energy shield bracer, you can use a bonus action on your turn to cause the shield, composed of shimmering translucent energy, to appear on your wrist. While in this form, it functions like a normal shield, except you can't drop it or be disarmed of it. The shield lasts until you use a bonus action to collapse it again.
yeah, that's probably best for people who go in close.
Yeah.
Well, I could always take one. Is it a specific type of shield again? Could you say it one more time, please?
Energy shield bracer. So you wear it on your wrist, use your bonus action to turn it on, use a bonus action to turn it off. Basically a hands-free shield. Next room.
Oh, I equipped it, by the way. The shield bracer.
Absolutely. The next room is partitioned with pale curtains on one side, while the east wall is decorated with charts of arcane and alchemical symbols atop a countertop. Above a countertop full of medical instruments. It appears to have been kept impeccably neat and clean, except for a bright slash of red spattered across one wall and the table in the center of the room. There are 2 bodies on the floor behind the exam table, one in red scrubs and one in random spacer's attire, just like a flight suit.
How did each of the 2 of those seem to die?
The one in red scrubs appears to have died of blunt force trauma, and the one in the spacer's jumpsuit appears to have died of a vacuum.
Vacuum. Is there any other exit from this room?
Not as far as you can tell, but if you want to move aside some of those partitions
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
search for secret doors,
Yep.
that might be a thing.
Let's make that a thing. Perception?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, not finding anything. I rolled a 2 plus a 4 is a 6.
What is everybody's passive perception?
Passive perception is better than that.
Mine is 16.
Yeah.
12.
If you ever roll lower than your passive perception, just
Okay.
give me that number.
All right, 12 then.
Okay. Those of you who have 13 plus for your passive perception, you notice there are abrasions on the floor in the southwest corner, and behind that curtained partition, there is a hidden door.
Ooh, this is curious.
I'm totally looking at a different door or a different partition.
All right. So, Rick Mara, you have found a secret door.
He will open it.
There's a short corridor that widens into an unfurnished and undecorated 30-foot square chamber. Standing, or rather, not standing, but slumped on the floor in the center of the room are 2 dead minotaur skeletons, their bones crushed to chalk.
What are Minotaur skeletons doing here? What the hell crushed them?
Oh my good. What is there anything? Are there other things in the room, or is this just the Minotaur skeleton display chamber?
There does not appear to be anything else in this room.
What is this chamber used for? Does it look like?
Hard to say.
Is there some weird pressure thing? Is that what crushed them?
As far as you can tell, it just opens into an empty room, and there is a door leading off of the left-hand side.
All right, Rekmara's gonna enter the room cautiously, look around. Room looks very weird. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some traps in here.
No traps.
Lasness follows Rekmara in and looks around. Oh, wow. Secret room. And then she hears Narita call out, no traps, and she calls back, too late, we're already in here.
If the traps aren't activated, it's not too late.
That's really good logic. That's really good logic.
So, where do you want to go from here?
It's just skeletons, nothing interesting in them whatsoever. No?
There is a wrenchinator on the ground next to one of them.
Oh. Wow. Is there anything over them? Is there something hanging from the ceiling?
Nope.
Is there anything malicious in the air spiritually?
Nope. They're dead.
Alright, well, Rekmara's just gonna open up the other door.
All right. It opens into a hallway. It's about 40 feet long, and there are passages going off of either side. It ends in a T intersection.
So just the two passages at the end of the T?
There's two passages about 10 feet down the hall, and then another 20 feet down. It ends in a T. The passage is going to the left or right from there. That's about as much as you can see from the doorway. Everything is just kind of lit with dim strips of emergency lighting along the floors.
I think you're muted.
No?
There you go.
Can hear you.
Okay. Fritz was just going to check to see if there was some other lighting that was supposed to be on, if it appears that the emergency lighting is on.
There is other lighting up higher along the walls. It's not currently lit up. Whatever, like, auxiliary power kicked on after the whatever took out the main part of the abbey and the hangar bay up above. Seems to have like flipped over, and it's just the emergency lights for now.
Which way do we want to go, left or right?
Left first most of the time.
That works for me.
Okay. The first branch to the left goes about 20 feet and then takes a sharp turn to the left.
Okay, well, keep following.
Okay.
Is it a bad idea to have an open flame down here?
It would potentially trigger whatever fire suppression system is in place. Also, as you're heading down this corridor, why don't everybody give me a perception check? Or Rick Mara, since you're in the front.
Do you still want to be in front, Rekmara?
Of course he does.
I got a 21 for perception.
Okay. You notice a slight shimmering in the floor at the end of the hallway just before it turns.
All right, Rekmara will hold up his staff. Hang on a second. He'll take one of the I guess tinctures that he had picked up earlier, one that looks least valuable, and roll it on the ground until it crosses over that shimmering section that he saw.
Okay. It rolls along the floor, and you hear it go tink as it drops off the edge, pulling through whatever illusion is covering that section of floor.
Like, does it like fall as in?
It falls.
Like...
Yep. You see it roll across the floor from where you are to where it gets to that shimmer, and then it just drops through the illusory floor. It looks like there's still floor there, but you see the little vial fall through.
Well, that is just not cool. I don't think I have a dispel magic, do I? Nope. You'll try to tap that section of the floor with the staff and just see if anything disappears.
It still looks like there's floor there, but as you tap that area, you feel your staff go through the illusion. There's nothing there.
All right, well, I can't pierce this illusion, but I don't think this way is any safer.
Should we go back?
Yes, unless any of you have the ability to dispel magic.
Now, how wide is the space of that illusion? Like, how much of the floor is actually illusory?
if you swing your staff back and forth in that space, the edges are about 6 by 6 square.
So if I reach over, do I hit the solid ground 6 feet away?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, you can probably swing your staff across that far.
Well,
You
then,
can just reach the solid edge on the other side.
and do I want to toss my thwirl over it?
Does the Thorl want to be tossed over it?
Does it
Maybe
appear?
we could jump over one of us.
Well, I don't want to do the jump. Where's Ted?
I'll
Let's
do
get
it.
Ted.
Or Narita can do it.
Fritz will pull out Sparky and say, "Hey, Sparky, walk sideways and go about, I'll say, whatever, 12 feet down, and then stand on the floor behind there."
Okay. Your mechanical spider climbs up the wall, down to the end of the hall.
Yep.
Climbs down the wall on the far end of the hall.
Mhm.
And lands on solid floor.
Okay. Make some loud beeps so I can get some sense of how far away you are down.
Do you want him to go down through the hole in the floor?
Oh, no, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said he went down. That's why I
No,
thought
he,
that was...
he climbed up
He's
the
gone
wall
around to the other
and
side.
went around the,
And
the,
then
the
down.
pit and then down
Got
to
it.
the solid part of the floor at the end
Okay.
of the hall.
From what I can see, is there anything other than smooth wall surfaces there? Anything that we could potentially tie?
No,
No,
not really.
Not really? Okay.
Does he have a video feed?
He can in a minute. Hey, Sparky, come back.
He will climb back up the wall.
I'll
drop
dig
down
around
onto
for
your
the extra GoPro in my bag
Okay,
and rig that video feed on there.
sure.
Pop down the video output on my data pad and say, Sparky, do me a favor. See if you can go down the hole, across the floor, and then when it starts to go down about 2 feet and look around. I'm going to have
Okay.
him go down into the pit and look around.
Okay. So, Sparky will climb the walls again, and as he comes around the far end of the hall, before he starts to go down, you can see that left-hand last little dogleg of the hallway seems to end at a doorway.
Okay.
And then he'll go down to the illusory floor, and he's like sort of tapping ahead of himself with his front legs, testing, and you see him disappear down the beneath the illusion, and he stops, and you can see as he sort of looks down at the wall below the fake floor, which is covered with a green slime, and it starts to get on his front legs a little, and he pulls back.
Yeah. Get out of there. Who was it who said something about fire a minute ago?
Me.
Yeah. We got something in there. It's not just a pit.
Oh, I see.
I replay the green slime incident for the others to see.
Ew.
It looks like the slime starts to almost eat at the mechanical spider's legs a little bit as it steps into it, and he pulls back. You see a little bit of like some bubbling on the middle of his front legs.
Sorry about that, Sparky. We'll get that fixed up.
Did you just have him sit where the edge of the other side of the floor is so we know how far we need to jump?
Yeah, we can do that. Sparky, can you stay just on the other side? And when you talk about jumping, there ain't no way I'm jumping that far. Sorry, I'm short.
I would be so happy to throw you across.
Gnome tossing.
So, I need to briefly just think back to the fire question real quick.
Yes.
And just trying to remember, do I think it would be unwise to fire, say, a plasma launcher in here? Just to pick a random potential weapon
Against, if you end up going against undead, it would be highly effective. You may trigger the fire suppression system, which may or may not be sprinklers here. Who knows?
And may or may not be working if we're on auxiliary power.
That's true. That's usually one of the things that's on backup, though, right?
Okay.
Unless it was triggered earlier, which we don't know.
This is true.
Yeah.
It may have been. The place was bombed earlier.
Yeah.
I do have, and now I have a question about green slime.
Yes.
And so what I need to know is, do I know anything about green slime?
Why don't you roll a history check?
I shall roll a history check,
See what happens.
and I will see what happens. I will see what I remember. I got a 13.
Okay. Green slime. You've heard of various types of slimes and oozes. You haven't encountered one recently, but most oozes are typically acidic, which would sort of bear out by Sparky's reaction to touching it.
Mm-hmm. And was this, the stuff as we see it on the camera, is it moving?
It is not moving. It just seems to be coating the walls below the illusory floor.
Okay. And if it is acidic, then I don't think fire would do much unless I'm forgetting how life works. Which I might be. Acid. You can't really burn acid. Because it's alright, can you? Google, does acid burn? Can acid? Probably
Fine
not.
burn.
Well, the slime itself isn't made of acid. It just has acid. I've just found that when you're talking about all of those nasty amorphous creatures, it seems that lightning, which is my primary way of addressing most of these issues, doesn't do a lot to most of these things, which is why fire is my normal backup, which of course I don't have most of the time being in space.
Yeah.
I have no idea whether fire is anything better, but I know that lightning probably is useless. So
We could always try.
I just think of firing a shot down there just in case that might help sort of like dry it out or some crap. Just in case. Make it a little
see what
safer.
happens.
Okay, here we go. I'm just going to step up to roughly where the edge is supposed to be.
Okay.
I'm going to just point my my plasma launcher down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to shoot.
You fire into the illusory floor. It shimmers as your plasma bolt goes through, and you hear a splash and fizzle as the plasma makes contact with what sounds like a puddle of something in the bottom.
Yeah, that's going to take way too long to do it that way.
It's fun. We can just leap over this thing.
Yeah, that sounds like probably the easiest way.
Rita's just kind of curious, though, so walks up to where she thinks the edge is and does the, what this is, cantrip, produce flame,
Yeah.
and then throws it down at the floor.
It passes through the illusion, and you hear the flames sizzle in whatever liquid is down at the bottom of the pit.
We tried.
The way that the you said that there's this shimmer as things go through.
Yes.
Not to.
That's how you can tell where the edge of the illusion is.
Yeah. Not to dive too horribly into into tinier and tinier things, but
Dive away.
does it occur to me this kind of thing could be projected by a device, and I know it would still it'd still show up as magic because that's how technology works
Indeed.
in this world. But I'm wondering if there's a way to get at whatever's projecting it.
My guess would be whatever's projecting it is down in that slime.
Yeah, that's probably gonna stay there then. Okay. And is hardy because it's just taken a bunch of plasma to the face. So yeah.
If it's sitting in a green slime, it probably takes would normally take a lot of damage. So there's something particularly resistant to everything. So it wouldn't surprise me that we haven't been able to knock it out.
Yeah.
Since we, number one, don't know where it might be in there anyway. But
yeah, that's fair.
If you would like to stick your head through the illusion and make a perception check, that is a thing that could be done. Or if you want to feel around the edges, that's a thing that could be done.
I don't really think our time is
losses.
worse.
Yeah.
Just got to make sure that Rekmara's going to take out a piece of chalk and mark X's on the wall to indicate
Wait a minute.
the edge.
well, that and that there is a trap here. So
Okay.
you know,
There was,
we start wandering back, we don't fall into it.
Yeah. Just trying to think if there's like anything that we could like put down there, like one of those sliding panels or something, or just that we might be able to step on.
If you would like to
course.
bring the scorched panel that was used as a tabletop back in the other room, you could
Or the
potentially
exam
lay
table.
that across, or the exam table. You could potentially lay that across the mouth of the pit.
Yeah, both of those are longer
Absolutely.
than 6 feet. Good thinking, Cole. Which
Yeah,
one
that
are you
sounds-
going to drag?
Whichever's closer.
The exam table is probably closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go get it.
I'll help with the muscle.
Thank you.
Rita wants to just jump this thing, so she's gonna back up and then
Just jump it.
run and jump over it.
And make a
Ooh, this is a
Strength.
bad idea.
or dexterity check to get across.
Strength is good.
No, just
Dexterity is
kidding.
not.
You can probably jump across this 6-foot opening just fine.
Rekmara will make the jump too.
So so it's 14.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Don't fall in.
You rolled your ankle as you landed.
In
Rolled the 19.
Yeah, you're fine.
Fritz is super relieved after those two big people jump over because now Fritz cannot be thrown across by either of them and is very thankful for that.
Rita can always come back for you.
No.
So the two of you who have jumped across, you can see there is a little narrow ledge that you can walk across and go to the right. There's about a 10-foot area before the hallway ends with a door. See basically what Sparky's video showed earlier.
Let's go to the door. Let's do it.
Rick Mora, you said your passive perception is 16.
That's right.
You notice as you are looking at this door that there is a wire connected to the handle of the door, and it leads up to a panel overhead.
Huh.
A rather heavy metal bulkhead.
Does it look like there are any gaps in the bulkhead?
No. I mean, aside from like seams where a ceiling panel might be, but there's definitely, it's like metallic instead of whatever plastic might cover the drop down lighting or whatever.
Okay. Mara's gonna stand off to the side from it and tap that bulkhead with his sun staff.
Mm-hmm.
See if there's any way to sort of knock it open or something.
It does not seem to move upward. It does seem like that wire that's connected to the doorknob might trigger some sort of mechanism overhead if you were to attempt to open the door.
All right. Well, this isn't safe. And he's going to double back away from the door, maybe about, I don't know, 20 feet.
Okay. So you kind of back up almost to the edge of the illusion.
Yeah. And he's going to fire his sun staff at the door.
Are you going to tell Narita who's at the door, or are you just going to shoot her too?
Well, I'm going to assume that she's not standing in front of him.
She was in front of it. We assume that there's a conversation that has had Narita moves.
Hey, Narita, you might want to duck.
Okay. Narita, how do you wish to move out of the way?
Now we're gonna jumping over here.
You can just back up to where we're at.
Yeah, I'll go back to where he is and stand off to the side.
There is the hallway is 10 feet wide, so you could stand side by side, no problem.
Okay.
Rick Mara fires at the door. Roll me some damage.
2.
You hit it because it's like not going anywhere.
And a 1, so 3.
You leave some blaster marks on the door. Is there any particular area that you're aiming for, or just the door in general?
Just the door in general.
Yeah. You scorch the door a little bit.
I'm going to keep firing at it until it breaks.
Okay.
Around the corner, doesn't see them, but starts seeing the backsplash glow from the sun stuff going off.
You can see and hear the blaster fire. It's lighting up.
I'm not hearing screaming or other noises like he's fighting something.
No, you just heard him calmly say, Narita, you might want to duck. And then he starts shooting.
Yeah, well, he would say that calmly if something was running at him.
This is true. He's calmly firing at the door. There are no, there's no roaring. There's no return fire.
Yeah,
no.
That's what I'm mostly looking for.
And Rekamara, you gradually blast a hole in the door. And there's just a metal bulkhead behind it.
The trap didn't go off?
You didn't hit the wire attached to the door handle. You hit the door.
Right, but I mean, I'm assuming that if I blasted the door to the point where it broke, the wire would also snap with it.
Blasted a hole in the door.
Yeah. The door didn't, fall off.
Oh.
I mean, were you trying to blast the handle off the door?
I was trying to blast the whole door off its hinges.
Oh.
It's like he melted a hole in the middle of it.
Well,
Aim at the wire.
yeah, the trap will fall. It's about the bulkhead. There's a metal bulkhead and a big stone block on top of that, and it crashes to the floor, and it would have fallen on whoever was standing in front of the door. And the door, you would have blasted it off of the hinges if there was a room on the other side, but there's just a solid stone wall on the other side.
I gotta say, that is one devious trap.
It's very anticlimactic.
Yeah. He's gonna search. Is there anything else in the rest of that room?
No, there's not even a room there. It's just a hallway and a fake door with a trap.
That's rude.
That is rude.
But you do gather that this bunker has been carved into the asteroid itself.
All right. Oh, is the table back? Did they manage to put the table over the floor?
Yes, Cole will arrive with the table. And it's up to you if you are gonna just stand there and wait for him to put it across.
Yeah, we're gonna wait. I'm not gonna bother leaping at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll do that. I presume this is one of those heavier tables that.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That's good. That means it's solid. So we'll just sort of do that thing where we'll turn the table upside down and try to get it across.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You can drag and or push the table across the pit trap, and you could cross if you want, but it looks like Rekmara might be in a hurry to come back this way.
There's nothing here. The door at the end of this hall was another trap.
Oh,
that why
that's a
you were
disappointment?
Is that why you were shooting at it all to hell?
Well, yeah, I didn't want a 1-ton slab of rock to crush me while I opened the door.
Why did they trap nothing?
I don't know.
There's a door and what? There's nothing behind it?
Yes.
Oh, it's just a bulkhead.
What is the purpose of that? This is a research facility. Why the hell would they...
People showing up when they shouldn't show up and looking where they shouldn't look. They'd find out real fast that they shouldn't have.
That's in a maze.
Oh, God.
Rita, pulls the table over to help kind of get it ready. Then gestures to Rekmara to go first.
Yeah, Rekmara will cross over.
Right.
I'd have hated to be an intern in this place. Dear God.
Yeah.
Rita crosses over too.
I don't know what's up with these clerics. Maybe they just set up traps.
I asked myself the same question when I was preparing for this session, and I still can't tell you. But as you turn away from the trapped door, I would say this is a good time to take our break.
Ah, excellent. Good. Cool. Let us go to break. We shall be back in a few minutes. We will see you shortly. Hey folks, welcome to the break. I am here with Summer, who's going to talk to us about some of the games that she's been putting out. I'm very excited to hear about these. You've got quite a few that you're starting to put together. Well, three is many to me. I can tell you that, especially considering how much time and effort they take. So why don't we talk about some of these? One that I actually have played is Futurity. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that one first?
Yeah, Futurity is a game that was heavily inspired by Sacha Renault's Spindle Wheel, which is a game where you use tarot cards to make decisions, a completely diceless game. And Futurity uses a pack of normal cards and a tarot deck. And essentially, it is a prompt game where you ask questions about the future, you are presented with a problem, and you ask your fellow oracles to give you predictions of the future, and then you immediately find out what actually came to pass based on the cards. So you draw a prompt card, a confusion, as they're called in the game, which is just a short prompt, a couple of words, and you tell the group about an event in your life, your past or your present, that you have confusion around, and then you ask a question about the future. You choose another oracle or yourself to draw a tarot card, prompting an answer to your question, and they tell you what the future might hold. And then it comes back to you, the one who asked the question, and you tell everybody what actually came to pass, using some things that they might have said or completely disregarding everything that they told you in their vision. It's a prompt improv heavy game that tends to dig deep into personal journeys, weaving webs with other people, and can span anywhere from a couple of years to thousands. I've had games that have crossed galaxies and realms, where I had an oracle who died and became the stars, and then her girlfriend also followed her into the stars, and then they joined the Queen of Swords realm. Like, just it can go just about anywhere that you can think. That's where the game can take you. And it's one of, I mean, obviously I only have 3 games, but I feel very proud of Futurity for giving you the ability to kind of stretch your improv muscles a little bit and your creativity muscles, because it really comes back to the players and what kind of stories you're interested in telling.
Yeah, I think it's perfect for that kind of thing, because just it's like you get to kind of decide how long you want to go, and you pretty much just it's very organic, just sort of based on, the story in and of itself builds on itself, that you're setting up, and you can either keep your particular prophet's story by themselves, or you can actually cross over. Mm-hmm. And get into other prophet stories, and I think it's really cool. It's very, very neat the way that you can go either way with that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, and it's a game that you can play by yourself or technically unlimited players. It's just kind of whoever you have on hand. Me and Katie have played a few games, just the 2 of us, and oh my gosh, with just 2 people, you can really tangle them up with each other in their lives, and it gets so sad. It's one of those games where you draw a card and you go, how dare this card show its face right now? It's always the card that you least want to see, but it's the most perfect for what you're doing. It's really, really fun.
Yes,
and
awesome.
It kind of, if you're interested in tarot, all of the tarot cards that come with the game also have the legitimate meanings or generalized meanings that most people have agreed upon when you're playing with tarot cards. So it can teach you really how to read tarot cards if you're interested. Just as a complete basic starter, obviously each set of tarot cards comes with their own specific meanings. If you know much about tarot, that is kind of imbued in the cards by the person who made them. So I would look into that, but it's a great place to start.
Absolutely, and that's also a very cool aspect. I'm actually planning on, hopefully, if I can get my schedule together, I'm planning on actually having a session of it for a one shot here on this channel in April, I think.
Yeah.
If I got my schedule together right. So look for that. Excellent. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, in the time we have left, do you want to tell us a little bit about knowing you?
Yeah, knowing you is my crowning glory. It's my pride and joy. It's the first game I ever made. I released it last May or last July. And knowing you is a two-player game about the end of a relationship. You play two people who are no longer together, and you explore the relationship from the last time you ever saw each other back to the day that you first met. It's a prompt-based game. Each scene comes with 5 questions and a prompt based on who should answer and who should ask them first. And you take turns asking each other these really hard questions that do, if you've recently been through a breakup, I do not recommend it. But very real questions about why your relationship ended and the cracks along the way, back to how you fell in love and the things that you really enjoyed about each other. It's an incredibly bittersweet game. I always have big feelings playing it, and I almost always get choked up or teary. There are a couple of playthroughs that you can find. Dylan and I, Anarsis, played. You can find that if you just type in Knowing You Anarsis on YouTube, that's up. Grant and I played on Off the Table, off_the_table. If you go back through our highlights, you can find it there. And then if you check out a Party of One Pod, Jeff and I also played. And that was probably one of my favorite games. Jeff really choked me up in like the first 15 minutes, which normally I get choked up in the middle, but he really got me good. It was a good game.
I listened to that one. It was really good. That's another game I'm hoping eventually to be brave enough to try. As I'm slowly trying to learn how to come out of my shell for certain games and deal with stuff together. It strikes me as a game that might be good for processing stuff that I have problems with in particular, so that might be good. And then do you want to tell us just real quick about the Flores?
Oh my god. Play the Flores if you just need a bullshit time. It is literally the Flores lava made into like a PBTA kind of like loose hack. You have some basic rules for just like screwing over the other kids. You line the battlefield with furniture, and you hop from piece to piece. You push people off. You can call your mom if somebody's too rowdy. It's meant to be kind of along the same silliness of like, I don't know, just like any one shot that you can think, like just to not have like a character you're attached to or anything like that. It's just to kind of goof around with some friends. And I wrote it for Kiana's dungeon couch jam. And I was like, oh, this is actually perfect for that. We also have a playthrough of that on Off the Table. And it was just so fun and so stupid. And so if you just need something quick to pick up and play, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
It was so good.
So stupid.
Watching that was so fun. Just especially seeing, if any of you have been on the channel, you've seen Matthias, who ran the Cold Ruins of Last Life campaign on this channel. Just go watch that actual play. He goes freaking crazy on it. It's delightful. But, well, where can folks find these games if they want to go check them out?
They can find them on my itch.io at Just a Summer Job. That's where I have all of my games available for purchase. And that's, I think I also have it maybe linked on my Twitter at Just a Summer Job, same name. So if you're interested in playing those games, they're all on itch. They're like a couple bucks. So awesome. I would check them out.
And were there any other parting words or other sort of links you want to leave for us here?
Go play my sad games. You'll heal, I promise. It's good. They're cathartic games. They seem, especially Knowing You, seems really scary. And I was honestly terrified to play it the first time. But after I got through it, I was like, oh, dope, chill. You are not left with bad feelings after Knowing You. I will tell you that right now. You are left with bittersweet, kind of sad feelings, but nothing nothing lingering. So just
Awesome.
go be brave, play my games.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank
Very
you for
cool.
having me.
Yay. All right, folks. Now toss things back over probably to me. And we'll see you later. Take care. Hello, we have returned. How have you been? Are you hydrating? It's very important. Drink deeply. Okay, I'm done. Hey, what's going on?
All right. So before we went to break, the party had encountered a hallway of misdirection. Trapped hallway of misdirection.
Is that its official title, The Hallway of Misdirection?
There was a pit trap, and after the pit trap, there was a falling block above a door that led to literally nothing. So they backtracked the way they had came, back to the main corridor. Now, on the branch of this hallway of misdirection that continues across the hall, you can see it opens up into another hallway.
Ritz turns to Mem and says, okay, this time you shout no traps down the hallway first, okay?
No traps.
Rigmarole, as Narita stands at the mouth of this hallway and shouts no traps down the hallway, you notice there is a tripwire across the hallway.
Lies!
Hey!
It
Let me
is
see what
hella
the
trapped.
Yeah. Can we follow the tripwire and figuring out what it would trip?
Yes. You can figure out where it goes, and you can make a dexterity check If you have some tools that you would like to use, you can use those to give you a bonus.
I'm not going to spend an hour building a set of tools that I don't currently have in my bag, but if
You
there's a
don't have
piece of
tools.
I was going to say, I'm looking at what I have the option to do. I can either build something really fancy that would last for a while, or I can pull a piece of non-magical gear that's no more than 40 gold pieces worth of stuff from my backpack of, oh, I happen to have that here. So if
Okay.
I happen to have the appropriate tool set or tool pick or whatever I would need.
Sure. You can definitely pull out some small wires or whatever and use those as thieves' tools.
Okay. And the sonic screwdriver and whatever else I need to make it work. Got it.
For sure.
All right. And Dex, you said, right?
Huh.
If I can even find where these things are on my sheet. Sorry. There we go. Oh, 19 plus 120.
Yeah. All right. So you easily just unhook that tripwire and disarm the trap. So now you can proceed down the hall.
Can I tell what the trigger would have tripped?
Yeah, I would have dropped more stuff from the ceiling.
Okay. Heads up. Still gonna keep an eye out though. Narita, if you want to yell no traps again, just to make sure, because that seemed to work really well this time.
1 success in 20 means it's successful.
Hey, it worked for me. I don't know about them.
All right. No traps.
Good to go.
Right. As soon as Fritz disarms the tripwire, Rekmara, you notice that another 10 feet forward there is a trap door in the floor.
Rukmara is going to tap it with his sun staff.
It's solid.
All right. Hey, Lasnus, do you want to open up this door?
Yes. Yes, I do. All right, so Lassus is going to try to open the door.
There isn't really a handle or anything.
Is it like I gotta like grab it as best as I can and pull it or something?
No.
Clap my hands twice?
And nothing happened when Rekmara tapped on it, but you figure if you step on that panel, it might open up, unless you're light, like a gnome.
Lasness is not like a gnome, so she steps on the panel.
With 1 foot, please.
1 foot.
Okay. You put your weight on that foot. I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no. Lasness, why?
Like a lamb to the slaughter. 20, not natural, just 20.
Okay, so you're able to put enough of your weight on that foot to cause the trapdoor to drop open, but balance and pull yourself back before you fall in.
So no lambs to slaughter. We should have
And
a cake for that.
You can see.
Why?
You can see at the bottom of this pit trap there are metal spikes.
That would have hurt.
Hey, can we drag the table from the other pit trap and bring it across this one?
Yeah.
How?
All right, come on, Cole.
How big is the? Is this door the same size as the? Is this
Yep,
trap door the same
6
size
by
as the other
6
one?
square, and the pit is 10 feet deep.
Yeah. Okay.
Narita
Go
will
get the
help.
table.
Narita will help.
Let's go get the table. Sure. He's just sort of looking at the pit. Why do that? What kind of... Never mind. Yeah.
Aren't there more pirates or people at the bottom of this thing? This is like peering down, looking into it.
And it's like, I don't know, maybe they just didn't get enough funding or something, and they to be able to beef up their security system, and they had to get creative or something. This is ridiculous.
The bottom of the pit, Lasdis, as you stare down in there, wondering why there are not pirates, you notice that there is a corpse down there. It looks like an undead husk had fallen in and been skewered.
Is it still moving, or is it...
No. It is dead.
Okay.
Good thing to know. We can just lure whatever undead are around into these various pit traps, right?
So, you pull the table over the pit trap, and you continue down the hall. It makes a left-hand turn, and there are 3 rooms leading off of the next hallway. Actually, 4 rooms.
Oh, crap. I've run out of index card.
Oh no.
So, the first room, the door is open, and you can see it is full of crates, barrels, and boxes. It looks like storage. There is a military cot set up in the room as if someone was perhaps occupying it. And amidst the overturned boxes, there is another dead husk in a hegemony uniform.
Said dead husk, so it appeared that this creature in the hegemony uniform had been a person who was then a husk, and then who was then effectively killed after having been an undead husk.
Yes.
Can we tell what that last version of death looked like? What last killed them?
Yes, you can see the sort of scorched, round, piercing burn wound of a laser sword.
Okay. Back to the
At
laser
least
swords.
one. Yeah.
I guess we will search the room and perhaps the husk.
All right.
See if there's stuff.
So, underneath the cot, there is a toolbox. And inside the toolbox, if you choose to open it, it is not locked, nor is it trapped.
Yep.
Inside the toolbox are 4 healing hypos.
Handy. I'll throw them in the bag of everything.
Okay. And if you would like to see what the the husk isn't really carrying much in the way of valuables. Just there's like ID tags. Some basic personal effects in the pockets of the uniform.
Just kind of
Sorts
want to
of
know.
materials.
Mhm.
I was gonna say probably the same thing as you, or possibly the same thing as you. It's like, what are the kinds of things being stored?
Just the kinds of things that you all have in your own packs.
Okay.
We might want. Are the badges like the kind that you swipe somewhere for like clearance through a thing, or are they just IDs?
It's like the sci-fi equivalent of dog tags.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Just ID.
All right. Anything of value to come back to later?
Nope, not particularly. It's an old, dusty storage room. The next room is full of empty weapons racks, bins, and shelving. It used to be the armory. It's mostly empty. There is a bedroll on the floor and a pair of mag boots next to the bedroll. And there is an elf and a hegemony trooper. They are both dead also. Again, it appears that they were undead, or at least one of them was undead, the hegemony trooper, and the elf is just dead.
Ah.
Killed by the one in hegemony uniform, most likely.
What is the elf wearing?
Leather armor, traveling, base life suit.
Does the elf look like they might be one of the like? Does this look like this person does not belong here type deal? Is this like maybe one of the pirates or?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Most of the it's definitely not hegemony uniform, and it doesn't look like he's dressed in scrubs or a lab coat or anything. He looks like a spacer.
Shall we search the room and also the bodies?
Okay. Go ahead.
Always
and,
do.
Yes.
Roll perception or investigation. What have you?
I will roll investigation.
I got a 21.
Oh, excellent.
There is no point in my rolling, but I will do it anyway.
Same. It was not good. 9.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Ooh, you found your feet.
I know where they are.
Rick Marat and Fritz. Rick Marat doesn't even have to really look for it. He notices that there's a loose panel. Fritz, you probably notice it slightly ahead of Rick Marat because you're actively looking, or perhaps heard Rick Marat step on it. There is a loose panel in the flooring that can be lifted up, and there's a little cubby. And in that cubby, in the floor, there is a stash of spell scrolls, which I imagine in this setting looks like those little clear, flexible, like it looks like a little tube, and then you pull out a clear, flexible computer screen panel.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Any sense of what they are of?
those of
What do I
you
need?
who are familiar
Arcane?
with spell casting, you can probably recognize them as Silent Image and Phantasmal Force. There's also a wallet containing 75 credits and a pair of ruby earrings.
Nice collections.
Can't really use these scrolls, but probably
Oh.
sell them.
Sell them, study them, copy them. I'm always looking for a way around what I can. And 75 credits in jewelry is always a good thing.
Yep.
On the other side of the hall, there is a larger room with a table with small figurines and a map. And there are some buttons because this table is also an arcane terminal.
Oh. Okay. Let's see what we can find out about this arcane terminal. Arcana?
Arcana or tech?
Both? Ooh, 19,423
All
on
right.
Arcana.
Fritz, you walk up to this table and you know exactly what buttons to push to power it up. And from the table, there is a hard light projection of a 3-dimensional holographic model of the galaxy mapped out in dodecahedral spaces.
Nice.
3-dimensionally. You can place these figurines, which are they're statuettes of little human and orc gunships and like Shay battle frames, and several with little ships marked with skull and crossbones to indicate pirates. And you could place these on the map. You notice several familiar landmarks. There's Saltmaw and Shay and Chiron, Nibelian, and Gearmaw, and this asteroid all appear marked out on the map. You could stick these figures in the map and see where everything is in relation to one another. This perhaps was some kind of war room.
I like it.
Why would an abbey have a war room?
Who cares
This is-
why they had it? I want it.
This was a medical research facility, right?
That was the cover story, it sounds like. I bet this is a cover story.
It's gotta be, because they're certainly we're up to something more than just trying to figure out how to prolong life.
Fritz is really glad that Cole and Rekmara are thinking hard about why this is here, because all Fritz is trying to figure out is how is Fritz going to unplug it enough and get it back to the surface and get it to our ship.
Right.
This is like going to be the ongoing thread now in the back of
Okay.
Fritz's mind.
Do we have an-
probably figure out how to get the projector out of the terminal and set it up in another one? So you wouldn't have to take the whole table.
Do we have a maglev like forklift or something on the Space Ghost?
I
don't think that you have a lift. There's a lift that goes up and down from the cargo bay. I don't know that you have like grabby hands on the manipulators on the outside of the ship.
So phase one will be seeing what of this that I could pull and repurpose onto another terminal that we could have on the ship.
Yes.
Phase two would be, could I actually yoink the whole table? But I'll be like running that scenario in the back of my mind.
You could theoretically get the whole table out.
It's just a question of moving it. Yeah.
You could disassemble it and take it out in pieces. It just depends how much time you have and resources
Yep.
that you want to spend here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely something you could come back for.
Fritz,
Yeah,
does this thing
it's-
record the simulations it was running?
Let me check. Can I see if there are any records of any recent simulations it
Oh,
was running?
sure. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Blink,
They
blink, blink.
Also, I will note that while Fritz was focused on getting this this model projection fired up, the rest of you would certainly have noticed that on the far side of the room there is a life-size statue of a robed skeletal figure with not a wizard staff, but a scythe. It looks like, you know, a classic depiction of death, but at the base of the statue it says High Chancellor Terminus.
Is that somebody that's like well known amongst space history?
That was the Lich Emperor of High Terra.
Oh, that guy?
That guy.
Oh boy.
This isn't getting any better the further we go in, is
No.
this? Lastness
No.
asks as she looks up at this statue.
Now that I kind of expected to see, or well, not a statue, but you know, there was. I think he had something to do with this place. There was some connection. I can't remember what it was, but I know that there was something we heard about that connected him to to what they were doing here.
Yes, it was supposedly a Terran hegemony research base.
Yeah.
During the Rift Wars that got cut off along with the Lickshay garrison when the Dead Magic Zone was created.
Yeah.
After the big bada boom. So,
Since it was cut off.
Fritz, you play back the last simulations, and unlike what you might have expected for them to be outdated old simulations from the Rift War, this is more recent.
How
Days,
recent?
maybe a week or so ago, it was used.
Interesting.
You see the asteroid light up, and several other locations around the verse light up, and it seems that the pirate ships have been mapped out. Areas that some of you may recognize as having strong connections with Void Prince's territory. And the projection that plays out, not unlike the projection that Fritz created of what might happen if one were to open a wandering rift on a planet. It's not quite like that, but you see several small blips of portals opening up, and the pirate ships traveling through those and jumping toward the center of the galaxy, toward the Sepulchre Star and the Solar Citadel.
Interesting.
These portals opening up, but they're not causing like. This isn't projected
They're not
destruction necessarily.
No,
Yeah.
it's
more,
not
No.
projected destruction. It seems to there are like number indicators of armies or crewmen, perhaps, little blips congregating around these certain areas that have been marked out with the skulls and crossbones. And then there's like a projection of these forces jumping their ships toward the citadel.
What's in the Sepulchre Star again, for those of us who have forgotten?
No one really knows what's in the Sepulchre Star. There is some sort of structure in the center of the star, in the center of the galaxy, and the star is its orbit is slowly degrading as it gets pulled toward a black hole that happens to live nearby. But there is a big citadel of a huge space station that is it is occupied by both elves and Aviara, as they have a somewhat uneasy truce between them, as they both are attempting to study the star and the structure inside. And the two sides, the two groups, are watched over in turn by the Knights of the Sepulchre, of whom Lasnus Chaintower is a new member. And the Sepulchre Knights protect the Maw stations, and they keep an eye on the elves and the birds to make sure that they don't start fighting over that star again.
Tell me I'm not looking at what I think I'm looking at.
Start of another war.
I really don't want to have to do the paperwork for this.
I'm just going to poke around a little bit and see if any of the projections match up to the Space Ghost's our acquisition of Space Ghost movements.
It's hard to say.
Maybe what I'll do is take this back and have Epsilon or somebody give me a hand with some analysis on that.
It's there's a lot of data stored
Yeah,
here.
no kidding. Yeah, no, it looks like it's huge.
There's quite a bit to comb through. Maybe about
nope.
a decade.
I was gonna say I've got a hobby now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely on the list of things to take.
So you do get the idea that perhaps the pirates were using this supposedly abandoned base for a lot longer than the Spacers Guild realized.
Yeah, it seems like they were pretty well settled in.
Yeah. So, where do you want to go from here? Oh, Lasnus, as you're looking over this statue of this creepy ex-Arch-Chancellor, or whoever he is, would you like to make a perception check for me?
Sure, I've been doing so well with those all night. Can't wait to see what this one is. Yeah, that was a mighty 7.
It's a big old statue with some dude's name on it.
I haven't been able to get through the entire handbook and the Union Guidebook and everything else I have to. But when I do, oh boy, this is really going to hit home.
Rekmara is going to come up behind Lasnus and look at the statue.
Okay. Rekmara, you look that statue up and down, and you notice that little placard with the Chancellor's name on it is slightly askew. Like, you might be able to turn it. There might be a hidden panel or compartment in the base of the statue.
Rekmara is going to nudge the placard.
It slides open, and there are some more scrolls inside.
Oh. What an interesting hiding place for this. He will pick up the scrolls and check them to see what they're about.
You now have a scroll of hold person and a scroll of command.
Man. Wish I was a wizard. And he'll just pat Lasnus's helmet condescendingly, but not say anything.
Are we boned? Like, that's what she's interpreting that as.
Maybe. All right. So, as Fritz figures out how to download the data or take apart this projector, what else would you like to do? Or are we just going to proceed to the next room and come back for the...
Why don't you guys go on ahead? I'm going to fiddle with this for a few more minutes.
Okay.
Don't wait for me.
Cole is going to quietly set a timer on his personal device, just so that he'll remember to come back and check on Fritz in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
But then also, did we finish searching this room? Have we looked through?
Yep, you've searched this room
things?
pretty thoroughly.
Yeah. This is... Oh, I did actually have a question. I will ask for... Oh, by the way, does this connect to their... to a central network or anything, or is this just an independent thing? This map, is it just by itself, or is it networked?
It seems to be independent.
It seems to be independent, Cole.
Okay. I gotta find gotta find their computer in here somewhere, see if we can find out what the hell happened. All right.
The next room over is filled with bookcases, filing cabinets, and there is a desk and a chair and an arcane terminal at the desk. The bookcases have books, like actual books made with dead trees.
Actual physical books.
Yes. And there are also some more data pads and scrolls. And there is some stuff on the desk.
Stuff?
What kind of stuff?
Stuff. On the desk, there are some data pads, and there's also actual ink. And there is a set of reading glasses.
Just looking at this, I'm like, this kind of stuff is expensive as hell. I don't know how that. Somebody put some serious money into this place and tried to hide it. Why do you do? Yeah, be careful. I don't know. We look around here too much longer, we're going to start running into fireplaces.
Better fireplaces than traps.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless the fireplace has a trap.
Just like randomly picking up a data pad and just sort of flipping through to see if there's any idea of anything.
The data pad seems to have a lot of records and ledgers, documents of that nature.
Ledgers for the expenditure of this base?
For now, well, not this one. This one has apparently more recent records.
Oh. Is this like, is this is this the data pad of a pirate accountant?
Perhaps.
I'm sort of looking. Does this like look like the kind of thing that does this look like a like a criminal's bank book, basically, their bookkeeping sort of stuff that they would have?
Yeah. Some of it might be somewhat cryptic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, of course, because sometimes they're going to try to put this with a code, and this is like stuff, this is all crap that I've seen before, and so I'm like, yeah,
yes.
Okay. This is where they were doing their books. This is going to be important to get a hold of later if we want to figure some more out about their operation. They had to be running out of here. How long after? I'm just wondering if they were here. He's kind of turning to probably to the others and just saying, I'm just wondering if they were here when long after they took care of long after the undead were taken care of, or that they took care of the undead and then stayed here and operated for a while, or if they were operating here and then something happened with the undead.
So many questions. Not enough answers. Anything else interesting on these data pads?
Yep, you find some more spell scrolls.
Like those?
2 more. And those spectacles.
Are spectacles special?
Also, on the bookshelves, there is a set of 5 books bound in blue leather, trimmed with copper foil.
Ooh.
They're very old, probably very expensive.
Are they of any use to us or interest to us right now? Or are these old books?
Narita, they might be somewhat interesting to you. They have, it looks like they describe the procedures for some sort of rituals or ceremonies, but they're kind of dark and grim. It might be interesting to Rick Moran as well, who knows. But I know that you were recently looking for books of such a nature.
Well,
So.
I will leave these here. Plan to come back for them later. Interesting books. Dark and dreary books.
I don't know why we're so worried. Don't we have someone who's carrying a bag of holding?
It's not actually a bag of holding, it's just a bag of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was the dark matter name for it. My apologies.
Nope, it's just
we need
Fritz's name for it.
Yeah, we need Fritz to remain light enough to be thrown if necessary.
I
Hopefully
can't
not.
argue that. I can't really argue with that. I might want to, but I don't think I can.
It's only with your permission.
So, how do you wish to proceed?
Has anyone looked at the terminal yet?
I don't think so.
No.
Fritz isn't in here right now, so I guess I'll give, unless someone else wants to dive at it, or who has the ability, I can give it a try.
Let me take a look.
Is there a particular ability that helps with these?
Tech, if you got it.
Yep.
Data, that's a skill also.
Nope.
I have tech, but that's...
As do I.
Otherwise, intelligence.
I have tech.
Yeah, I only have the proficiency bonus in it, so I've got a +2 with it.
So do I. You can take it. Go for it.
Alright.
Your rolls have been better tonight than mine.
Oh, we'll see.
Jinx!
Power up this terminal.
Yeah.
It, most of what comes up immediately is more logs and record keeping.
Okay.
But you could also theoretically access other functions like security or...
Yeah. I'll see. I'll take a look. I'll see if I can find, like, security camera things, anything like that. If I can
You can.
take a look through.
You can find the security footage. And you go into like a split screen that cycles through various cameras. One is definitely in that first lounge area with the gambling table and the deceased gamblers facing the airlock. There is one in the airlock itself. There is one in the that shows the medical room. There is also a flash of a room you haven't seen yet. It's a large square room with polished walls, floor, and ceiling. There are some boxes and crates along the edges of the room. There are also corpses scattered around the room. And in the center of the carnage, there is a single figure clad in a spacer's jumpsuit. Their hair is pulled back from their thin face in tight braids, revealing an undercut with coiling tentacles shaved into one side, wielding a pair of laser swords, one in each hand. Beyond this figure, you notice a shimmer and a sort of static in the video as a portal opens. And a husk stumbles through, and the figure begins to engage in combat with the husk.
Is this now, or is this a record?
This is right now. And this is where we're going to call the episode.
Go!
Cliffhangers.
Ah!
Exactly.
Ah! Ah! Oh my god. Very cool, very cool. It's happening right now. Okay, well that's very interesting.
Very.
Yeah. Okay, very cool, very cool. Well, I liked this quite a lot. This I think actually of my favorite things on this. I mean, I liked that ending, and I also liked the map a lot. That was a very neat thing. We're gonna go ahead and go around, and once again, you can tell folks where to find you, and any final thoughts you had about the session, favorite moments, what have you. And we shall start with our illustrious station master, Alyssa.
Everybody, thanks for playing, and thanks to all of you who tuned in to watch. My name is Alyssa. You can find me on Twitter at Origami Shuriken, and you can most often find me playing on this channel. As for favorite parts of the episode, yes, I always enjoy dropping a cliffhanger ending on you. And I think it timed out quite well. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take us to get through the corridors of frustration and misdirection. But it worked out really well, so I'm excited for next time.
It would help if you could hear me. Very, very cool.
A little.
Yeah, it might help a tiny bit. But let us head up to Mem.
I am, you basically just find me here. I try to exist in other places, and then I don't. Favorite moment tonight was getting a little something I can hold over Rekmaraz's head, the fact that he nearly killed me.
Acceptable losses.
Maybe acceptable to you. But otherwise, yeah, just the endless traps, the passages of misdirection and frustration and misery were fun.
Very cool. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now let's head over to May.
Muted.
Hi, everybody. My name is May, and when I'm not muted, you can find me here on Sunday nights doing this and having a great time. I have a Twitter, but not much happens on it. Just find me here on Sundays and check out all of other Doc's great stuff. I had a lot of fun tonight. The one thing that will stick with me is that I could not succeed at my roles for the most part. Hopefully next week will be better.
Indeed, indeed. And now let's head over to Cazimi.
Hello all, I'm Cazimi. Like Mem, I'm mostly here on Sunday nights and not much of anywhere else in between times, although hopefully that'll change a little bit over the summer. There were so many little things tonight that were fun. I mean, Fritz always loves having toys, having things to go after, having too many things to go after. That's always fun and amusing. And I'm curious to see how much trouble we're going to get into by having this War Games projectors and knowing things maybe we shouldn't be. But probably I, like a couple of others, had a favorite moment watching Rek Marah just be completely frustrated by the fact that he blew open a door that wasn't useful for anything. There was zero payoff for that particular action. And yeah, I think some of us were just cheering for that. So.
Oh dear, dear.
Oh.
Well, let us head up to Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. And the next time I'll be streaming will be Thursday on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Sprawl. And then over on the Wandering DM channel on Friday. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't know if we're going to be streaming on July 4th. But
Oh yeah.
anyway.
It's the third.
But anyway, yeah, I thought I was pretty happy that my passive perception is this high because the lack of rogues and trooper on the team could have spelled doom for a lot of us today in very ugly manners. So yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. we've been so lucky. Very
Now
cool.
you've got me thinking about how that whole scenario would have gone with Trooper there. Us yelling no traps, him walking into a trap, us having to rescue him from a trap. Just, I can see it happening, you know?
Trapception. Indeed. Okay, well, back to me then. I just want to before we get back to me though, I do want to just once again thank Jade Nebula for the for the delightful artwork that we have that you see here. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some fiction and games I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. Once more, I'm just going to mention that we have the a donation drive going with our Sprawl campaign for the Bail Project. A project dedicated to providing bail for protesters. Very important right now. We are Team Phyllis, so if you want to check that out, I've gone ahead and put the link in the chat. Also, I always like to raise awareness for Campaign Zero, which is an organization dedicated to ending police violence. So I highly recommend folks check those out. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Monday night, I am over on Salty Sweet Games, playing in their 5e campaign Strange Invasion, Assault on the Barrier Peaks. On Tuesday night, back over here on this channel, we have the finale of Casketland. That is an occult western that's powered by the apocalypse. They're getting ready to fight a cult. We'll see what happens. Thursday night, the aforementioned Sprawl campaign. That is a cyberpunk game powered by the apocalypse. And again, that's where we're doing the campaign for the Bail Project, so feel free to come and check that out. Run expertly by our MC Brian. And on Saturday nights, I run Invisible Sun, The Edge of Paradox. We're still on a train. We're getting very close to the end of it, and end of the season.
No. We're not on a train right now.
Oh, that's right.
Technically got out of this.
That's right. You got off the train. That's right. We're not on a train
for fondue.
Yes.
That's true. You're in a fondue place right now that is not on the train.
Yes.
But the train is currently laid over for a few hours, so that's the train is still there in the background, lurking. One never
Waiting.
knows. Just waiting. Just waiting.
well, we eat inside an enigma.
That's right. Oh God, I forgot.
But our merry band of Isla have a group name now, so stay tuned for their food blog.
This is true.
It's gonna be great.
That's really what the campaign is all about at this point. It's just basically a food blog. That's really what it is. It's best to just accept that. But on Sunday, 1 week from today, Sunday afternoon, we are having another one shot of the Deep Forest. We did one today. We're doing another one next week. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, more of this, Dark Matter, Ghosts of Saltmaw, and perhaps we will unlock more of the mystery of what is happening and who that person with the laser swords is. I am very excited to try to find that out. Right now, I do not have any sign-ups up that folks can get at. I am going to soon be putting up sign-ups for things happening in July. That is going to be there are going to be a couple of things that we've got going on. There are going to be games of Stille Nacht, which is a sort of a historical ghost story. It's a story game. It's pretty cool. And then also there is going to be a one-shot of Monster of the Week that a guest is going to come in and run and on one weekend. So I'm also very excited for that. And so sign-ups will appear soon. When you want to sign up for something, go down to RPG Sign Up or go to JimYesThatJim.com and click on Game Sign Up. As always, beginners are welcome. When we hit the end card, we're going to send a raid over to let's go ahead and raid Penny for a Tale. That's they're doing what are they doing? Age of Ashes is the name of their campaign over there. We'll go over there and say hi. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.